Well, hello there. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about The Sword, specifically Volume 1. The Sword was created by Joshua and Jonathan Luna. It was put out by Image Comics in 2007. It's a 24 issue series, and it's one of my favorites. Dara Brighton is the main character. She's a college-aged girl, and she loves art. But unfortunately, due to an accident about 5 years ago, she has been confined to a wheelchair. Dara has a loving, supporting family and a father she really looks up to. One night, while she's having dinner with her family, things all go to hell. Now, here's the part where I have to spoil some things about the first issue, but it's really hard to talk about the rest of the volume without getting these things out in the open first, so you guys will just have to forgive me later. 3 people come into Dara's home during dinner. They demand that her father give them back their sword, but he says he has no idea what they're talking about. Eventually, their anger grows as their patience dwindles. Even as they torture and kill his family members one by one, Dara's father denies that he has any idea what the sword is, and eventually he winds up dying too. The 3 wind up leaving right after the roof collapsed on Dara. They were presuming that she was dead, but little did they know she was not. Eventually, after falling through the floor, she crawls to what seems to be a sword, and being very surprised that there's a sword sitting underneath her house, she goes to grab it, and she stands. Now, I know it seems like I just told you the entire contents of issue 1, but it's really good setup for the entire series, and it's hard to describe some things that happen later on without telling you about those first. Eventually, it gets to the point where Dara finds that she has superhuman abilities, like she can jump over entire buildings or dodge bullets with a sword. She can also heal wounds miraculously right after they're made. But some really bad stuff happens too. Dara gets blamed for her family's murder and a couple other murders, and she gets kidnapped a couple times. And that's not very good, but thankfully she's got that sword, right? But where did it come from? And why can it do the things it does? But if you want to know that stuff, you should probably read it, because it's really good. And not only is the story good, but the art is amazing, and it reads just like a movie. Jonathan Luna really likes using blur in his art, and it's really not something I had seen in comics previously, so it made for a really interesting read. Here's an example where Dara was trying to fight back away from some people who were trying to do her harm. Excuse the little amount of gore. It's really easy to immerse yourself in something when the art is that dynamic. The Sword, Volume 1, Fire, is a really solid read the whole way through. From the very first issue, which introduces you to some interesting characters and plot points, to the last issue, which is a pretty awesome origin story on the sword. I like to recommend this book to just about anyone. I mean, it's got mystery, intrigue, great gore, great art, great storytelling. I mean, what's really not to like about it? It's only 24 issues. You can read it about a week if you pace yourself. Also, the ending of the series is something that has always stuck in my mind. The entire last arc is totally bizarre, and you would not see it coming, and it is insane. And it has definitely made The Sword cemented in one of my top reads ever. And I hope you guys like it too, because it's really good, and I would love for it to have some more exposure. So thanks for joining me on this new review. I hope you guys liked it, and I really hope you guys are interested in this book now. So, tell me what you think down below, and I will see you next time.